So let's see what Dave Ramsey from the Dave Ramsey Show. I think Dave Ramsey is a very known financial guru. That's how you can call it. It seems like a devaluation of what he does, but he's to explain to others who don't know him, he's a financial guru. He's very good in with numbers, helping people to get out of bankruptcy, to avoid bankruptcy, and instill discipline into people relating to financials. Right, Ajay?
Yeah, well, it talks. His brand is mostly based on personal finance
Hmm.
and the management thereof. He has the 7 baby steps to financial freedom. He has also the Financial Peace University. So he has different products and services that all aim to help your average Joe become financially independent. So I really think he has good contents, definitely.
Okay. Let's see what he has to say about prenups.
Christy, sounds like it's time to talk about this.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think that. Well, let me ask you this, Daniel. I've got a follow up question. When you say how should I do it, how have you played it out in your mind? Like, what fears do you have? Because I sense that like there's some hesitation on your part, but I'm not sure what it is.
Right. A friend of mine recently, he had a pretty good sized net worth, and it was like probably about 800, 900,000 bucks. And he's going through a nasty divorce, and she's going to get half of it. And it's like, he's telling me, man, you really need a prenup and be careful what you do with girls. And I realize that he's saying that just because he's in that set of circumstances. But at the same time, it's making me kind of rethink my position. And then, money, you never really fully know somebody. And so whenever you start disclosing information like this, it can be one of those things where you get turned on your head like, oh, I thought I knew this person and now she's acting completely differently. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
You can't control how she reacts.
Correct.
And you certainly can't get married if you haven't disclosed this. So you got to start talking.
Correct.
It sounds like it's time to talk about it because you're talking about popping a question and you feel like this relationship's going to end in marriage. So yeah, you definitely got to start disclosing and talking about it. And you can add the prenup discussion later. You don't have to do it all in one sit down. Only time I used to never recommend prenups. I used to say if you don't love the person more than your money, that you shouldn't get married. And
KR, I think that I just wanted to chime in on first on what the caller said. Right, the caller is calling and saying that he basically knows of a case, a friend of his was going through an awful divorce, and he wants to pop the question, but he is also already thinking of a prenup. And I find it funny how, or no, that goes to show you that marriage is not about love, or at least it's not only about love. I would say love is, let's say the love, it's not a romanticized love that they're talking about. Because you're thinking, hey, I like this person, I want to live with this person for the rest of my life, right? And you can just go and do that. But no, now for you to get married, you need to, while you want to fall in love, you want to just let go and fall in love, you find yourself with an internal conflict about your possessions. So you can't just let go and be in the relationship, because if you don't watch out, you will lose half of your things. So it's not, it's pretty like we talk about it like it's a normal thing, right? Of course, we get married. Everything we have is together, so we share everything. But it's pretty. That's where you see that the state. That's where you see the power and influence of the state in your marriage, because now the state knows what you're doing. If you just live together or have a relationship, the state doesn't know anything about you. But when you involve the state, when you involve the government, it's always when you involve the government that you have complications and problems. And this man is saying, you know what, I really like this person. I want to take the next step, but I'm afraid that I will have not only my bank account, my heart broken, but also my bank account. I just find it interesting, just food for thought, just to think about it.
That's a point you have there. I think someone. No, let's continue. Let's continue.
Only time I used to never recommend prenups. I used to say if you don't love the person more than your money, that you shouldn't get married. And I changed that after about a decade of coaching people, because where I ran into extreme wealth, which $1 million at 35 years old is pretty extreme. When I run into large amounts of wealth, I found not that the person that you're marrying is usually the wealth. $1 million at 30, because where I ran into extreme wealth, which $1 million at 35 years old is pretty extreme. When I run into large amounts of wealth, I found not that the person that you're marrying is usually the problem, but if you don't have a prenup as a boundary, the crazy people in their family come out of the woodwork. And so, and if they, and if she knows Crazy Bob's going to call, she can just go, Crazy Bob, there's a prenup, and I can't do anything. I don't have access to this because they.
This is something I didn't think about, but this is ties in what I said earlier. Not only bankruptcy, but I think there is other advantages to this.
Yeah.
Crazy Bob.
Crazy
Crazy
Bob.
Bob.
If the family starts finding out or somehow
Lazy
realizes that.
Again?
Lazy Bob.
Crazy and lazy.
Yeah.
That, she's hit the gold. She's hit a gold vein here, and is going to be set. Then and some bad member, toxic member of the family, and most every family has at least one Crazy Bob in it, right? So it just brings out the weirdness in other people more than the person. And I don't mind too. I would probably recommend that over a period of years that the prenup erode to nothing. Like if you've been married 20 years and you're not willing to do that, then you got other problems in your marriage. You're not willing to do away with the prenup at that point. But this thing of you don't want to spiritually or relationally get in the thing where I'm putting the money as more important than the relationship. But it's just to keep the weirdness away.
Right. And I was.
Yeah, I think it's one way to look at it. But I think sometimes you have a stance. Let's say you think a certain way, or you have certain principles that you stand by. But the reality of things can challenge your beliefs. And you have people who let go of the previous belief to accept a new belief, or people who keep the belief, so they don't let go of their belief, their main belief, but they will try to create a reality where both beliefs can exist. And when I hear Dave's argument here that it's to keep the crazy people away, it seems to me that he's trying to make space for both realities, because the alternative would be to just say, yeah, you should always get a prenup. What if you get married to a person and then you skyrocket and the other person doesn't? It doesn't make sense to say only for rich people, only if there's difference in income. It makes no sense, because the difference can come afterwards as well.